Hi, I'm Lauren Kirkland, and I'm doing another lab demonstration for my microbiology class, and today we will be talking about the proper gram staining technique. So before we move on, I would like to review my lab attire. I have my hair pulled back, my glasses are serving as my safety shields or goggles. I have on my lab coat, I have on my gloves, I have on long pants that extend down to my closed-toed shoes, and I have no jewelry. So next, obviously when I'm in the lab, I would want to make sure that I've taken the proper measures for sanitation and hygiene. So after washing my hands and preparing my work area that is sanitized, we would be ready to go. So I'm going to show you first the items that we will be using throughout this video. We have our Bunsen burner. We have our culture. We have a slide, inoculation hoop, a wax pencil. I have my stains, my crystal violet, my iodine, my decolorizer, alcohol, and then my saffron. And then I also have just 3 clear cups of water over here to the side that I will use to rinse my slides off after each stain. And I have a few paper towels that I will be using to dry my slide. So, in moving forward, I'm going to move this right over here, give myself a little more room and so you can see. Okay, in moving forward, the next step we would want to take is obviously turning on our Bunsen burner. So I'm going to turn on my Bunsen burner. In the lab setting, I would control this temperature and be looking for a bluish type flame to let me know that it was hot and ready. I would do this by controlling the air vents at the bottom. So after I've turned it on here at the home setting, I'm going to say it's hot and ready to go. And then now we can prepare my slide here. And I'm going to take my wax pencil. I'm going to draw a circle just in the middle of the slide, and then in the corner here, I'm just going to make my initials. I'm done with my wax pencil. I'm going to set it to the side. And then next, I'm going to get my inoculation hoop. I'm going to flame it. Get my culture, picking it up by the test tube. Removing the cap with my pinky. Flame it. Going to get me a sample. Flame my culture again. Cap it. And I'm going to place the culture on my slide. Okay, now I would flame my hoop again. Set this to the side. Set this to the side as well. So I have my bacteria, my culture on my slide, and before we would move on to the actual staining process, in order to attach my bacteria to the slide, I'm going to pick up my slide and I'm going to make 3 passes over the flame of the Bunsen burner, each holding it a second over each pass. 1, 2, 3. In doing that, this is a very important step of allowing my slide to dry before moving on to the acid staining. So while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to turn off my Bunsen burner. I don't want any type of reaction with the heat and temperature and flame of the Bunsen burner with my alcohol-based stains. So I've turned this off. I'm going to set this to the side. My slide has had enough time to dry. So now I'm going to get set up for the actual staining, gram staining technique. Again, I have my 3 little glasses of water here to rinse off my slide. And the first one I'm going to start with is my crystal violet stain. Just going to remove the cap. I'm going to put my crystal violet stain right on the dot. Set it to the side. I'm going to pick up my slide. I'm going to rinse it. Trying to get all of the stain off, much of the stain off as possible. And it's okay if I dip over here as well. I'm going to set me a little napkin here to block dry the bottom of my slide. Obviously, you don't want to smear or roughly wipe the top. That's where your culture is. And then before I moved on to my next stain, I would let this dry and sit for a minute. So we're going to say a minute has passed. My slide is dry. I'm then going to move on to the iodine stain. Going to place a few drops, same area. I'm going to rinse my slide. And blot dry the bottom or the back. Again, allowing it to sit for 1 minute to dry. Now it's been a minute has passed, then I'm going to move on to my decolorizer, which is alcohol. And on this, I'm going to pick up my slide, hold it at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to drip my decolorizer alcohol solution over my slide until just clear liquid is coming off of it, just removing any of the leftover stain. Okay. Then I would do the same thing, kind of blot dry the bottom. Then moving on to my saffron. After, again, letting it dry for a minute, or pretending a minute has passed, I'll take my saffron, put a drop, rinse off. Make sure it's rinsed off. Then I would blot dry the bottom again. And then after again, it would dry for a minute. Then I would put it under a microscope, and then I would be ready to see the results of the culture under the different stains, gram stains that is. So that is it. Thanks for joining, and thanks for watching.